Morning everyone, happy Monday. Excuse me if you hear me coughing or sniffing, I've got a little bit of a cold, which is a bit annoying as I've got a wedding this Friday and Saturday. So I've got a big double header and I've got a really busy week as well. So coming up in today's video, I just want to talk about how I price my wedding videos, how I justify the cost. Because if you're just trying to get into wedding videography, you might not have any idea where to start with your pricing. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I release a video every Monday talking about this kind of stuff where I'm discussing sort of the business side of wedding videography and video production, as well as tutorials, hints and tips. We're going to start doing some film reviews as well, because I've done a previous video on why it's important to be watching films as a filmmaker, or like series as well. So that could be like Netflix, Amazon Prime, going to the cinema, just whatever TV you got at home, like Sky. Here in the UK, we've got Sky. You might have subscriptions to Sky Movies. But in today's video, excuse me, just going to discuss about pricing. You may have seen another video of mine where I discuss my 3 packages, and I do have my pricing in there. But this video is dedicated to just the pricing side of things. So I try and keep things very simple. When I was coming up with my pricing, one, you want to sort of look in the area at other rates, but I mainly I mainly gave my pricing on what I think my day rate should be. So I've been doing video production for over 12 years, been doing wedding videos for a couple of years, and working for myself for 1 year. So I find myself quite highly experienced in this industry. So my day rate I charge is £150. So let's take my lower package, which is the couple just receive a 3 to 5 minutes highlights video of the day. And I charge this at £700, which this is the lower end. And this isn't even, I'm probably in sort of the market of probably higher end of the lower budget to lower end of the middle budget. Some people charge thousands just for a highlights video. Mine is 700, and quite funnily enough, I had the last wedding fair I was at, I was discussing this, and one of the grooms on the day, groom to be, said £700, what, just for a 5 minutes highlights? And I said, that's £700. Next one's £1,200, or you can have my gold platinum package at £1,800. So, like I just said, I charge £150 a day when I'm working out my costing. So I came up with £700. So you got the long day of the actual wedding. So that's what, £150. And a highlights video for me takes 1 to 2 days. So let's say 3. So that is £450 in total. That's just my day rate. That's just how I charge for my time. Then you need to have expenses on top of that. So that could be petrol. Within my packages, I travel, I would do on the day maximum 3 hours, but ideally 2.5, which is actually what I got on this Friday. That's my first wedding. So that's a 2.5 hour drive. So that cost me a good 50 quid in petrol. So that comes up to 500 quid. You've got other expenses such as electricity. You are a business at the end of the day. You've got all your bills, advertising costs. So I go to wedding fairs. Google AdWords, sometimes Facebook ads. And, you know, you've got to take that into consideration. You're a business. You've got to make money to spend money. So that adds up. And the other cost that you need to remember is kit recovery. You know, kit isn't free. You know, if you were renting gear, which is, excuse me, which if you are just trying to get into filming weddings, see if you like it, is a great way of, you know, getting into it. If you wanted to rent a camera, you're looking, and lens and everything, that all adds up. That actually adds up to a few £100 of gear at a time. Obviously, I own it all, so I don't charge that much. But you're already at £500. I take the other 200 as just, you know, comes under kit recovery. Kit doesn't last a lifetime. You will have to replace it. I run a, you know, I've got a £7,000 camera. That's my main camera. So that's my silver package. My gold package is 1,200. Again, that you've got the day filming, and then I usually take another 5 days to get the feature film, the highlights, and the speeches all put together. And again, I put them on USB. So I've got another video on how I package my final videos, and that costs about 20 odd quid. You know, I'll get that on Amazon. I'll post a little link in the description below, plus postage to the couple. So again, these are the expenses that add up as well. So I worked it out. I spent my day rate, I think, comes up to about £900, and then I've got £300 which covers kit and the expenses. So it is very well justified. And one thing that does annoy me a little bit when people go, "Oh, weddings are so expensive. My videographer's costing this." It is worth the money. This is going to work. This is what day rates cost. You know, so I don't want you to feel like your prices are too high. But you know, if you haven't got the experience or knowledge, you might not be charging £150 per day. You might be charging £100, but that's just this is my rate that I charge. And then I have my platinum package, which is exactly the same as the gold, but I hire a second shooter. And that is actually £500 more than the gold package. But my second shooters range from £150 to £300. So the other costing is actually, some people might say, why don't you just charge £300 extra? Well, it usually takes me an extra day or two to go through their footage, because you've got a lot more footage that you're going through, and it takes longer to edit. Plus, I have to store all their footage as well, which the kit costs more because you've got to buy more, you know, external hard drives or however you back up your videos. You know, I have an extra 60 gigabytes potentially worth of, even 60 to 100 gigabytes worth of footage. And what I usually do is I take the second shooter's SD cards, copy them over, the next day post them back. You know, that's £5 posting their SD cards back. So things do add up. So it's just a little tip on if you were wondering how to price up your own wedding videos. This is how I do it. It's quite simple. Day rates, and work out how many days you think that will take, plus kit recovery. So yeah, I hope you learned something there. I know I was waffling on a little bit at the end, but I think it's, you know, when I was getting into it, I was like, how much should I charge? I was looking at other people's prices, and then I came up with my own just because that's how I justified my costings. So, like I said at the beginning, I've got some great videos coming out every Monday. Try to release one. Some weeks I might even release two, especially if I might do a film review. Might chuck that out at sort of towards the end of the week if I've been to the cinema sort of at the weekend. But like I said, please like and subscribe. This channel is all about video production, wedding filmmaking, me giving you my tips on not only sort of editing, camera stuff, but it's also like on the business side as well. So smash that like button if you haven't already. Like and subscribe. I've got I'm just updating a little website of mine actually, where I'm going to start, especially if you're in the UK, I'm going to start selling some stock footage of sort of the nice wedding venues I go to. Always handy, and that includes sort of aerial drone stuff. And the main one, I've got a little link to the kit that I use. I've sort of broken it up between weddings and also like video production side, sort of interview filming and that sort of thing. So go check it out, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.